Good afternoon, everybody. The fans are filing into their seats here in Cincinnati. Mets at Reds. An odd 5-game series. This is game 4 of the 5-game series and the first game of a doubleheader. This broadcast, of course, was up in the air until this morning. I was supposed to have a birthday lunch with my sister, but she woke up a bit under the weather today. So we're going to postpone that for another time. Franklin's here. Hello, Ernest. The Reds have won the first 3 games of this 5-game series. Mets have dropped 4 straight. They have managed to climb out of last place, mostly, at least as much, in part due to the Cubs' play, as the Mets actually doing anything. Good afternoon, Blaine. Welcome, and thank you, Franklin. I will pass that along. There's Joel Horlin. Hello, Joel. Pitchers, lefty Rob Gardner for the Mets here today, and Milt Pappas, the ace of the Red staff, at least so far. 5-5 record to be sure, but a 2.67 ERA that ranks among the league leaders. 12 starts, 2 complete games, including a shutout. Doesn't strike out a lot, but of course we know Pappas. He does not walk people either, just 13 walks in 84 1/3 innings. For Gardner, it's kind of ugly. 4-6, 5.27, 12 starts, no completes, 68 1/3 innings of work. He also does not strike out many, but he's walked 27 and surrendered 11 home runs. Mookie's right here on the TV tray next to me. Oh, there he goes. He's off on another Mookie adventure. Franklin's predicting the beer batter as we edge closer here to Thanksgiving. And oh my goodness, I'll tell you what, I had a doctor's appointment this morning. On the way home, I thought, I need to get some berries. I stopped by Winco, drove up and down the parking lot. No spots. And I knew right then, I do not want to go inside, even if I could find a place to park. You do not want to go in there. So I went over to Rosar's, which a little bit more expensive. It's a local chain, small chain. But it's a very peaceful shopping experience. So today I was willing to pay a little more for my blackberries just to not have to deal with the BS. I got up to the check stand. There was one person in front of me and one person at the self-check. That's it. Winco is a madhouse. Night and day. Here we go. Joel Horlin's replay in 1980 Orioles, real life 100 wins. His replay 83 and 78 with a tie. Interesting you would have a tie, Joel. Perhaps you could expand on that a little bit. That feels a lot like the Orioles in my 1982 replay, greatly underachieving there as well. Not the case in 1966, however, where they're humming along like a well-oiled machine. Here is the lineup for the Mets. It's Chuck Hiller leading it off in left field, believe it or not. Ron Hunt at second base. Al Luplo gets the start in right. There goes my voice again. Ken Boyer at third hits cleanup. Cleon Jones is in center. Ed Kranepool at first base. Eddie Brassu will be the shortstop. Jerry Grody, the catcher, hits eighth. And Gardner, the pitcher, ninth. Let me get a drink of water here. Oh man, it's just fading on me. What is it with this time of day? All right. Yeah. So then I stopped and got a slice of pizza. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. Operator exhaustion and frustration, and before the hell that happens. Stopped and got pizza. I thought, okay, I haven't had anchovies on a pizza in a long time, so I had them throw them on there. They're not sitting well. It's hard to admit when you get old, your system handles food differently. For example, I used to be able to eat any level of hot food, any level. Scorpion sauce, ghost pepper sauce, flying, flame-breathing smog sauce, whatever. Not so much now. The umpires for today's game will be Shag Crawford behind the plate, Ed Vargo at first, Doug Harvey at second, and Harry Wendelstead at third. Hello, Ben. I don't know, Ernest. Maybe. Something's not sitting well. Two pitchers in the lineup for New York. Two pitchers. Eight and nine. Oh, wow. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, Grody's not a pitcher. What the heck was I thinking there? That's better. Well, now that we've got that straightened out, let's play ball. A little finalization of my plans now with the week schedule settled. Second game of this doubleheader will be tomorrow, and then there will be at least 2 games on Thanksgiving Day. That will be a doubleheader, California Angels and Kansas City Athletics. So I'll play a doubleheader as a doubleheader. Welcome, RJL. Robert, that's right. Thank you, Ernest. He may be, yes, position player. Okay, Hiller leads it off, 14 for 42. That's a .333 average. Pappas gets the side. The pitch on a 4-6 lefty. That's going to be grounded to first. Single to 13. Perez can't get it. And Hiller with a leadoff single, and we are underway. Here on a cold and gloomy Tuesday in Spokane. Here's Ron Hunt. Hunt hitting .265, no home runs, 9 RBIs. Pappas out of the stretch. Pitch on a 4-11 right-handed. Grounder down to shortstop. Cardenas gloves it. Throws to Rose for 1. To Perez, not in time. On the 6-4 force, Hunt takes first. Hunt now a star 15 stealer. Let's take a look at the battery. Pappas with a -3 hold. Pavletic, however, with a +2 arm. Hey, unmitigated. Oh, so close, Franklin. 7 and 8 spot. I'm sorry, yes, 7 and 8 spot. So a -1 battery. Hunt at 14. 1 down. They're going to hold him at 12. Luplo hitting just .229. 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Pappas from the stretch. .311 right-handed. That's a base hit the other way. Drops down in front of Harper and left. Hunt could go to third. 14 minus 2, 12. Harper a plus 1, 13. With one out, they're going to send him. Now it's a tough choice for Cincinnati. Do they cut it off? Early in the game, they're going to cut it off. So Hunt to third on the single by Boyer. Runners at the corners, one down, and here is Ken Boyer. Single by Luplow. Did I say single on Boyer? I did, didn't I? Grody could be the backup. So your beer batter, Eddie Brassu. And there's Double D. Welcome. Okay. Boyer hitting .239, leads the ball club in home runs with 8 and in RBIs with 34. Early in the game, they'll be back. Pappas trying to coax the ground ball out of Boyer in the pitch. 6-8 right-handed. That's banged into left for a base hit. Triple to 2. That's going to be a run-scoring single by Boyer. Luplow rounds and goes into third as Hunt crosses the plate to make it 1-0. Here's Cleon now. Cleon leading the team and hitting at .309. 5 home runs, 15 RBIs. Infield remains back as Pappas comes set. The pitch is a 6-5 right-handed high fly ball to right field. Backing up is Simpson to make the catch. Luplow will tag and score. And on the sac fly, it is 2-0 Mets. Two down for Cranepool. Ed Cranepool hitting just .217, 6 home runs, second on the team with 26 RBIs. The pitch from Pappas. That's a 6-4 left-handed. That's catcher's card. That'll be Pavletic, a 4E13. Here's the play on a 12, error range. A 10 on a 13, little nubber in front of the plate. Pavletic pounces on it, fires down to first to retire the side. 2-3X. So the Mets score 2 on 3 hits and leave a man. And after half an inning of play, it's New York 2, Cincinnati coming to bat. The Mets trying to snap a 4-game skid here today and save some face in this 5-game series at Cincinnati. Reds trying to get it going. They're 29-32 now. They'd love to move closer to that 500 mark. And thank you, RJL. There you have it. There's the real life line. You can see the score here. 7 hits for the Mets, 10 for the Reds. And as Gardner warms up, let's give you the Reds lineup. Tommy Harper leads off. He's going to move over and play left field today with Pete Rose at second base. Vada Pinson in his customary 3-spot in center field. Tony Perez gets the start at first base against the lefty. Don Pavletic, the catcher, hits 5th. Darren Johnson will play third base. Dick Simpson gets a rare start in right field. Leo Cardenas, the shortstop, and Pappas, the pitcher, rounded out. Gardner ready to go to work. Tommy Harper will lead things off. Harper stepping into the right-handed batter's box, comes in at .209. No homers, 6 RBIs. The left-hander gets the sign from Grody, the windup and the pitch on a 1-8. He lifts it to straightaway center. Cleon Jones is right there and puts it away. That'll bring up Rose. Rose, the leading hitter on the team at .312. 3 homers, 18 RBIs. Switch hitter batting righty against Gardner. The pitch from Gardner is a 6-12 righty. Grounder first base X. Tough chance for Cranepool. Cranepool with .313 moving to his right. On an 8, it's the E range. A 4 on a 13, and it's off his glove for an error. Rose reaches on the error by Cranepool. Rose normally not a threat to steal. Let's check the Mets battery. Gardner a 0 hold. Grote a -1 arm. So Rose going nowhere, and here's Veda Pinson. Pinson hitting .261, 5 home runs, 35 RBIs. Left-on-left matchup. The pitch from the stretch on a 3-9 struck him out right in the heart of his good column. Hard to find an out in that 3 column on Pinson's card, but he found it. 2 down, and here's Tony Perez. Perez hitting .261, 2 home runs, 10 RBIs. Gardner with the pitch. It's a 3-5 left-handed. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gardner to wrap up the first. No runs, no hits, a man left. There was 1 error. And after 1 inning of play, it's 2-0 Mets. Let me have some more coffee. You know what I might do is, hang on a second. Bear with me. I'm going to fire up the tea kettle. Yeah, if I'm going to keep having these throat issues, I may just switch to tea and honey before the game. We'll see how that works. Pappas takes the mound. Unmitigated for the Mets here today. Bottom third of the order, Eddie Brasseau will start it off. Brasseau, the beer batter, hitting .235, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. Pappas gets the sign. The windup down the pitch is a 6-7 right-handed. Grounder second base X. That's Rose. 2-17 to his left. The play on a 2. He can't get it. That's going to be a base hit for Brasseau. So Eddie with the leadoff single. No threat to run. And the batter will be the catcher, Jerry Grote. Somebody call the miners. Yeah, exactly. And even if he was quite young at that point, could he have done any worse than Gardner? Grote, .238 average, no homers, 11 RBIs. Pappas from the stretch. On a 2-9 righty, swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout for Pappas. That'll bring up Gardner. Right-handed batter, a D bunter. 2 hitters card. Yeah, what the heck? He's going to swing away on a 5-8 right-handed. Hard grounder to short. Cardenas to Rose for 1. To Perez, double play. Well, that backfired. So Gardner hits into the 6-4-3 double play. Nothing doing in the second. Then we go to the bottom of the inning. Gardner rated only 5 for endurance, so we're not expecting a lot out of him. Don Pavletic will start it off. He's second on the team in hitting at .275, 5 homers, 12 RBIs. Gardner with the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 3-5 left-handed. Routine grounder to short. Brasseau gloves it. Throws over to Cranepool, and there's 1 out. Darren Johnson will be the hitter. Darren playing third base today. On the season, Johnson hitting .211. Leads the club in home runs with 11 and 32 RBIs. The pitch from Gardner on a 6-7 right-handed. He walks him. Johnson at first, no threat to run. And the batter will be Dick Simpson. Simpson, who has not played much. He's just 3 for 15. 2 of his 3 hits, however, are home runs. Gardner from the stretch. Here's the pitch now to Simpson. It's a 6-4 righty. Grounder third base X. Tough chance for Boyer, but this could be two. He's a 226. Here's the play on a 5. He's there. His only play to first, and on the play, Johnson advances to second. That'll leave it up to Leo Cardenas. Cardenas hitting .221, 10 home runs, 30 RBIs. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 6-8 right-handed. That's going to be driven into right for a base hit. That's going to drive in a run. Triple to 2. He'll settle for the long single as Johnson rounds and scores. And just like that, it's a 2-1 ball game. Just a momentary little micro thought of walking in there, but it seemed way too early. Here's Pappas. He's a 1 with end power. Gardner's pitch on a 2-3. Foul ball back at the plate. Grody tosses the mask aside and puts it away to end the inning. Reds settle for a run on a hit and leave a man. After 2 complete, it's 2-1 Mets. Oh, excellent, Daniel. I always admired people who did that. I never went to that much trouble. But you know, I'm curious. If you have the time and you're so inclined, drop me a line and send me a picture of one of your sleeved cards. I'll put it up on my site under posts. Was it Verner's, Franklin? That was always a favorite of mine. Moving along to the third, top of the lineup for the Mets. Chuck Hiller singled in the first. Pappas gets his sign. 4-6 left-handed. It's a grounder to first, single to 13, and that's going to be a base hit for Hiller on the 13. So Hiller 2 for 2. He's making his manager look like a genius for putting him in the leadoff spot today, and here's Ron Hunt. Pappas from the stretch. 6-8 righty. That's banged in a left for a base hit. Triple to 2. It's going to be a single for Hunt. Hiller rounds and heads for third, and the Mets are in business with runners on the corners and nobody out. 6th hit off of Pappas already. Hey, we've got a couple new ones here. Hello, Charlie from Chicago. Oh, Charlie's been here before. I recognize the picture. And hello, Clams and stuff. That one I don't recognize. Of course, as we know, YouTube has done some funky things with the names lately. It's entirely possible we do know Clams under another name. Anyway, welcome everybody. Good crowd on hand for this one. Let's see how the Reds are going to play it with Al Luplow at the plate. Trailing by 1. Luplow doesn't hit into a lot of double plays. They're going to bring the infield in. Of course, that would give 3-2-1. That would make Hunt. That would give Hunt the lead at 1 through 14. Well, they're not going to play the infield in. My mistake. The infield will be back, and Hunt will be held on at 12. Boy, you're not kidding, Ben. Runner being held, infield double play depth. There's the pitch to Luplo. It's a 5-5 left-handed high fly ball to center. Pinson backing up. That's going to be deep enough for Hilder to tag and score. And that makes it 3-1. One away, and here's Boyer. Boyer singled in a run his first time up. The pitch from Milt Pappas is a 5-6 righty, high fly ball to left. Easy play for Harper, who drifts over and puts it away. That'll leave it up to Cleon. Cleon knocked in a run with a sac fly in the first. Pappas checks the runner, now comes to the plate, 5-10 righty. High pop fly to shallow center. Pinson jogging in, waits on it, and makes the catch to retire the side. So the Mets settle for a run on 2 hits and leave 1. 3-1 Mets as we go to the bottom of the third. Yeah, exactly, Franklin. So Clams, have you been here before under another name? Oh, Franklin, you're an online character, all right. Sorry, couldn't resist. Top of the order for the Reds. Let's get Gardner on the mound. I can hear the... Hang on. I can hear the tea kettle. All right. Well, that steeps. We'll continue play. You have been here before. Well, I appreciate that, Clams. My mission is accomplished. My work here is done. Top of the order for Cincinnati. Tommy Harper will start it off. Gardner into the windup. Pitches a 1-6 left-handed. Grounder down to third base. Routine play for Boyer, who fires over to Cranepool for the first out. And that'll bring up Pete Rose. Rose 0 for 1, reached on an error in the first. Gardner into the windup. 3-10 left-handed. Rose ground ball into the 6th hole and into left field for a 1-out single. Just the second hit off of Gardner. Here's Pinson. Left on left matchup. Gardner out of the stretch. 2-5 lefty. Base hit. Hit so hard to center that Rose will have to hold at second. He ripped it on a line right to Cleon Jones. Rose thought about going to third, but then thought better of it. First and second, 1 out. Here's Tony Perez. Perez struck out his first time up. Gardner a glance at second. The full windup and the pitch on a 5-7 right-handed. That's going to drive in a run. Double to 12. That is a 2-star single for Perez. So Rose scores, Pinson to third, and it's a 1-run game again. 3 consecutive hits off of Rob Gardner. Perez, no speed at first. Let's take a look at Pavletic's card here. For those new to the channel, I'm just looking for ground ball A's. And the Mets are going to bring it in for Pavletic. Infield in, 1 out, runners at the corners. Gardner checks the runners from the stretch. 3-6 lefty. He struck him out. Big strikeout there for Gardner. His third of the ball game. And it'll be up to Darren Johnson. Ben for the Reds. Johnson walked his first time. Runners will be off. Here's the pitch. 2-8 left-handed. Hard smash to third. Boyer. 2 Crane Pool, and that'll do it. So Gardner works out of the jam, allowing just 1 run on 3 hits and strands a pair. And after 3 complete, Mets 3, Reds 2. I tell you, when I think of playing for the double play, the first thing that comes to my mind was when I won it wasn't a Star Tour. It was still called the TBA back then, Table Baseball Association. It was still run by John Cruz. And I won the 1987 December in San Diego with the 1986 Cars. Anyway, in the finals, I made a habit of walking Hubie Brooks to get to Eddie Murray with 1 out. If first base was open. And that situation came up several times, and every single time Murray hit into the double play. He had a ton of ground ball A's on that card, and I had a 1 middle infield, Frank White and Tony Fernandez. That team could turn double plays. So with a high double play prone batter like Murray, and Brooks, if you remember, Hubie Brooks in '86 had a monster card. Let me check on my tee. Oh, Clams is a casino. I'm going to put a little extra honey in this today and a shot of lemon. It does make me think, though, because that's what my sister woke up with, a sore throat. So we're going to go to tea now in the Magical Mystery Tour mug. Can't see it. I don't want to tip it any more than that. Last time I did that, I ended up replacing a keyboard. Clams Casino is an appetizer. I'm intrigued. Yeah, and that was back before Super Advanced too, Ben. That was when pretty much anything on the X chart with a 1 or a 2 was a double play. I mean, sorry, the 1 fielder at first or at second or short was a double play. In other words, the 1 was a much stronger weapon than it is now. Great memories of that tournament. 4th inning in a tight game. Ed Kranepool will start it off. Milt Pappas ready to go to work. Here's the pitch on a 5-3 left-handed. It's a grounder to the pitcher X. Pappas a 3-E7. Here's the result of the play. on a 1. He can't get it. That's a base hit. So a base hit for Cranepool leads off the 4th. And up steps the beer batter, Eddie Brissou. Pappas out of the stretch. 5-7 right-handed. That's going to be a base hit. Could be extra bases. Double to 12. That's going to be a double for Brissou. Cranepool will hold at 3rd. And the Mets in business again. 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. So Pappas is being cuffed around a bit today. That's the 8th hit off of Pappas, and we're only in the 4th inning. In a close game now, they're going to bring the infield in for Grody. Pappas checks the runner at 3rd. The windup in the pitch on a 5-11. Base hit center field, at least one will score. Here comes Cranepool. Brissou rounding. 11, Pinson a -2, 9. They will hold him at 3rd. It's an RBI single for Grody. That makes it 4-2. And here's Gardner. Infield will remain in, still nobody out. He is going to do a straight sack as a D. He lays it down on a 10, and he bunts it to the pitcher, who goes down to Rose for the force. So Grody is erased. Gardner to first. Cranepool holding at 3rd with 1 down. The batter is Chuck Hiller. Hiller is 2 for 2. Raising his .333 average. Infield will remain in with 1 out. The pitch from Pappas. 110 right-handed. Ground ball B+. That's a single into right field. That's going to drive in Brissou, and the Mets with 2 runs in the inning make it 5-2. Plus, that sends Gardner all the way to 3rd. Actually, there's only 1 plus. I don't know why I say plus. It's an old habit. And some of you old-timers can probably guess why. Four hits in the inning off of Pappas. I knew Ben would get it right away. And we have a super chat from H. Field. Thank you, H. Field. I appreciate it. Is that a cat on your picture there? It sure is. Can I make that larger? I guess not. Hang on, maybe I can. It's 2 cats. Oh, you've got some music videos there too, I see. Okay, I'll check on that later. Thank you, H. Field. Appreciate it. Ron Hunt, the hitter. Hiller at first. Let's check his speed. No steal rating. Against a righty. Hunt is not double play prone. Infield is in. 5-2 ball game. Mets on top. Here's the pitch to Ron Hunt on a 6-3 righty. Fly ball left field X. Tough chance for Harper. Harper a good fielder. 3-2. He's on his horse. It's on a 20. And he makes the running catch, but on the play, Gardner will tag up and score. That'll be a sac fly to left. Gardner tags and scores. Give an RBI to Ron Hunt. And it is 6-2 New York. Al says Pappas is pitching. Heck, Al, he's been their best pitcher this replay. He came into this game with a 2.67 ERA. Two down for Luplo. The pitch from Pappas is a 3-8 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep right field. Simpson back on the track. Makes the catch at the wall. Luplo gave it a ride, but it died on the track. The Mets will settle for 3 runs on 4 hits and leave 1 man aboard. And they've opened it up 6-2. That's good news for Rob Gardner, who's happy to finally have some run support. So wait a minute, is Daniel Barham, are you H Field? I get that unmitigated. That's sarcasm, yeah. Different people. Okay, that clears that up. You got these. So what is these? That's what's throwing me, I guess. Hang on, I'm going to look at your site. Maybe I'll glean more information there. Nope, there's nothing there. Wow, that's admirable. Early in the game, 6-2 Mets. Here's Dick Simpson, bottom third for Cincinnati. Gardner into the windup. That's a leaner. That's going to be a reroll. As Simpson fouls one back, Gardner rubs up a new ball. And he comes right at him with a 3-7, just outside, ball 4. Simpson, no threat to run. Here's Leo Cardenas. Oh, I've got you. I've got you. That was a while back. See, I've already forgotten about the card holders. This is another classic example of just how crap my short-term memory is. Runner at first, no one out. Gardner from the stretch. The pitch to Cardenas, 4-4 right-handed. His catcher's card. That's going to be Grody, a good catcher. Grody's a 2E8. And here's the play on a 17. It's a pass ball followed by a foul out. F2X, Simpson to second. Pass ball for Grody. And here's Pappas, a 1 with N power. Swinging away, the pitch from Gardner is a 6-9 righty. High fly ball to deep left. Hiller back at the track, at the wall, off the wall. Oh my goodness. Milt Pappas almost got it out of here. He'll settle for the RBI double. Simpson crosses the plate. And it's 6-3 Mets. Oh man, would that have been something. On a 6'9" righty, Pappas rolled the 11. He does have end power. The beer catcher. I think everybody should have drank a whole bottle of something if a pitcher homers. Hopefully not a bottle of 151. Here's Harper now. Gardner checks the runner at second. Comes to the plate 1-3. Foul ball on the left side. Boyer over to get it. And a big second out. Here's Pete Rose, batting right-handed. The pitch is a 1-9. Grounder to second. Easy play for Hunt. He flips it to Kranepool, and that'll end the fourth inning. Reds settle for a run on a hit and leave one. After 4 complete, it's 6-3 Mets. You know, I think this tea is actually helping. Of course, I pretty much have lifetime bronchitis, so the sad fact of the matter is it's most likely going to get worse before it gets better. I'll be sounding like that one guy in a couple of years. Oh, God, I can't think of the name right now. Maybe one of you guys will pick it up. Yes, Green Acres is the place to be. Pappas ready to go to work here in the 5th. Ken Boyer will start it off. Pappas gets the sign from Pavletic. Here's the pitch. That's a 5-8 right-handed. Routine grounder to short. Cardenas scoops it up. Fires to Perez. And that'll bring up Cleon Jones. Pappas gets the sign. Pitch to Jones on a 6-7 right-handed. Grounder to second X. Tough play for Rose. 2-17. Ranging behind the bag on a 17, scoops it up, turns and fires in time. Nice play by Rose. Here's Kranepool with 2 outs. Absolutely still a game. Pat Buttram. That's the guy from Green Acres, right? Mr. Haney. That's not who I was thinking of, but that works too. Well, you know, Mr. Douglas. Pappas to Kranepool. It is a 1-5. Fly ball to right. Can of corn for Simpson, who puts it away. And it's the first clean inning of the day for Milt Pappas. First clean inning of the day for either pitcher, actually. What else would you call it? Gardner in his first endurance inning now with a 3-run lead, facing the heart of the Cincinnati lineup. Any Mets fans getting nervous? I have to say I'm a little, well, let's just say I don't have a lot of confidence in Gardner. Pitching to Pinson now. There's a 1-8. Left-handed grounder to second. Hunt has it, throws him out. Mr. Ziffel, Arnold Ziffel. That's who I'm going to sound like. Perez 1 for 2. Gardner's windup, the pitch on a 6-5. He lifts it the other way to right field. Lupo is right there in his tracks and makes the catch. Here's Pavletic now. The windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 110 left-hander. He pops him up. Left side, Brosseau waving his arms. He'll take it. And it's the first clean inning for Gardner. I guess another thing to consider with Gardner is the plight of the Mets bullpen. Not really in a big hurry to get in there. Pappas rated 7 for starter endurance. And he'll be looking at the bottom third of the Mets lineup here in the 6th. Brosseau's 2 for 2 in this one, the beer batter. Pappas with the pitch. 6-12 righty, grounder first base X. Tough chance for Perez, a 4-17. Here's the play on a 14. Error range, a 7. What did I say he was? A 7 on a 17. It's off his glove. That's going to be an error on Perez. And Brosseau reaches for the third time. I already watched those. Here's Grody, 1 for 2. Pappas from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Grody on a 4-5. Ground ball shortstop X. This could be 2. Cardenas a 2-16. Here's the play on a 5. He's got it. Charges it, but his only play is to first. And on the play, Brosseau will take second. So a nice play by Cardenas. He gets the sure out at first. And here comes Gardner, now working with the lead. He'll swing away. Right-handed batter. On a 4-7, swung on and missed, strike 3. Exactly, Double D. You know, we got a kid that can take your place. Here's Hiller, 3 for 3. Runner in scoring position, Hunt to follow. Pappas gets the sign. The pitch to Hiller is a 5-9 left-hander. He lifts it to right field. Simpson drifts over and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left. Still anybody's game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Mets 6, Reds 3. Yeah, family time, 40 years old. Wow. I miss Turner Classic Movies. I don't have it anymore. I got rid of my cable a long time ago. It's just too expensive. I have like 5 streaming channels for the total sum of about $29 a month. And hours of vacation video with Mookie. How can you beat that? And hours before Mookie, for that matter. But lately, I like the ones with Mookie. Okay, Reds batting bottom of the 6th. Darren Johnson 0 for 1 with a walk. Gardner into the windup. 1-4. Line drive right into the glove of Boyer. So he hit it on the screws, but right at the third baseman. And then here's Dick Simpson, 0 for 1 with a walk. Gardner with a 5-5 righty. Fly ball to straightaway center. Jones backs up a bit and hauls it in. And how about that? Gardner's retired 7 in a row. Pitching to Leo Cardenas now. Here's the delivery. It's a 4-6 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Gardner, since being handed the lead, has really bear down and come right after these guys. Last inning for Pappas, his first endurance inning, but he's due to lead off the bottom of the 7th. I watch a thing on YouTube called Watch It for Days, and what this gal does, deep dives into all the Columbo episodes. Is anybody familiar with that? Well, if you're a Columbo fan at all, it's definitely worth checking out. Anyway, she will give you the background on every actor in the show. And some of these shows she comes up with, I'd completely forgotten about. I knew about them when I was a kid, but they're so far out of my memory. It's like, oh my God, I forgot all about that show. Yeah, I've been a big Columbo fan since it was in prime time. There I go dating myself again. Well, why not? I'm the only one that'll go out with me. Ron Hunt will lead off the 7th for the Mets. They still lead it by 3. Pappas into the windup. 6-6 righty, swung on and missed. Strike 3. Here's Luplo, 1 for 2 with a sac fly. Scored a run, drove in one. Pappas' pitch to the left-hander is a 3-6 righty, and he promptly deposits that one into left field for a 1-out single. Action in the Cincinnati bullpen now. Who's it going to be? Don, nope. Jack Balshin getting loose. Luplo aboard with 1 out. Here's Boyer. I remember the Flying Nun. Pappas out of the stretch. 4-8 right-handed. Fly ball to straightaway center. Pinson gliding over to it and makes the catch. It'll be up to Cleon. 0 for 2 with a sac fly. Pappas gets the sign. The pitch on a 1-3. Grounder down to third base. Fielded by Darren Johnson. He goes the short way to Rose for the 4th. And that'll do it. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We can close the book on Pappas. He's due to lead off the bottom of the 7th. So Pappas goes 7 today. That's his fatigue number. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, 11 hits off of Pappas today. 6 runs all earned. As usual, he didn't walk anybody. He struck out only 3. We might change the reliever with Cranepool leading off. Yep, they're going to go to Notabart. Anyway, we'll get back to that after we check in on the most famous cat on YouTube. That would be Mookie, of course. Combat, I remember. Mookie, what are you doing? Nothing? Let's find out about that. Let's have a look. Hey, Mookie. Hey, Mook. Hey. Where's the pink thing? Wow, he's not even going for this today. He's really out of it. He's not even going for it. All right, buddy, we'll let you go back to sleep. Now he's looking down at it. Nope. This Mookie Stretch, of course, brought to you by Schaefer. He's in that spot an awful lot, Double D. The thing is, I'm going to have to move that thing temporarily. Let's see. Let me check the... Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Third endurance inning for Gardner as we go to the bottom of the seventh. The Reds, of course, will start it off with a pinch hitter for Pappas. Hot batter, by the way, is Art Shamsky, who's not in the lineup. Batter is going to be Tommy Helms. Helms hitting .268, 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. Gardner gets the sign. The pitch is a 210 left-handed. Grounder down to third. Boyer once again gloves it and throws to Kranepool for the out. So Helms is retired. Here's Tommy Harper now. 9 in a row retired by Rob Gardner. Here's the pitch to Harper. It's a 3-7 comebacker. Gardner has it. Tosses it to Kranepool. 2 quick outs in the 7th. So Gardner, who earlier didn't look like he was going to make it to 5 innings, cruising right along now. And with 2 out, here's Pete Rose. Gardner's pitch on a 4-8 righty. Rose bangs it into left field for a 2-out single. That breaks the string. And that'll get Vada Pinson to the plate here in the 7th. Loved McHale's Navy. Gardner's pitch to Pinson. Left on a 4-6. Routine ground ball to second. Fielded by Hunt. Flips it to Kranepool. And that ends the 7th inning. No runs, a hit, a man left after 7 complete. Mets 6, Reds 3. Here comes Notabart to take over pitching duties for Cincinnati. Yeah, unmitigated. Gardner rose to the occasion. Notabart, other than McCool, has been the most dependable arm out of the Reds' pen. 5-2 with a save, 3.48. And he'll be facing Ed Kranepool to lead things off here in the 8th inning. Kranepool 1 for 3. Notabart gets the sign from Pavletic. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-10 right-handed. Comebacker. Notabart knocks it down, picks it up, and tosses it to Perez. Oh, thank you, Double D. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you shortly in the future. Hey, for not doing anything Thanksgiving, I'm going to be rolling them. He is not a Bart. I had a friend named Bart. He lives in Calgary now. Here's Pursue, 2 hits and reached on an error. He's been on all 3 times. He's the beer batter. Not a Bart with the windup on a 1-6 righty. Struck him out. There you go, unmitigated. The batter will be Grody. Not a Bart's pitch to Grody on a 6-6 right-handed. That is a liner to third base, single to 11, and it's speared there by Darren Johnson to retire the side. So 1-2-3 inning for Notabart. 6-3 Mets. Let's check the Mets defense now. We're going to replace Pursue for sure. Roy McMillan will take over at short. So unmitigated, I guess that makes Grody the beer batter now, right? The pinch beer batter. McMillan a 320. I'd like to get Hiller out of left field too. We're going to let him bat once more. As Gardner gets ready to work the 8th. Jack Hamilton begins to toss in the Mets pen. He is joined there by Larry Bernarth, 2 right-handers. I think so, Ben. I had kicked around the idea of starting the first game earlier to leave open the possibility of playing 3. I didn't even really want to say that because I'm not sure I have the endurance to play 3. I assume you're not working, Ben, so an earlier start would not affect you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Good thing they closed the beer stands. Yeah, not in the Astrodome. Perez will lead it off. Gardner into the windup. Pitch to Tony Perez on a 6-9. It's a high fly ball to deep left. Backing up his killer at the track. Off the wall. Perez into second with a stand-up double. And now the question becomes, how long do we go with Gardner? Who was for the Mets here? Somebody was. One thing's for sure, the bullpen getting ready in a hurry. Unmitigated for the Mets. How long do we stick with Gardner unmitigated? I'm thinking give him one more hitter. He's handled Pavletic today. Yeah, I kind of feel like he is too. He's facing Pavletic. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 1-5 ground liner to third, single 16, and he's got an infield single. And here comes Westrom. Excuse me. And that's it for Gardner. May have gone one batter too long. They're going to go to Hamilton. So 7+ for Gardner. 4, 5, 8 hits, 3 runs so far. Walked 2, struck out 2, 3, 4. Hamilton's been the stopper. 5 and 6, 1 save, 2.98. Of course, he made 13 starts before moving to the pen, where he's worked 5 times. This will be his 6th relief appearance, as he's taken over the stopper duties in the Mets bullpen. Darren Johnson will be the hitter. Runners at the corners, and nobody out. 6-3 ball game. Tying run at the plate is Darren Johnson. Infield at double play depth as Hamilton delivers from the stretch. 6-11, base hit into left field. That's going to drive in Perez. Open single. Johnson to third, 12-10. Hiller with the +3. It should have got him out of there sooner. 13. They'll throw. They'll throw at 13. He's going to hold up with nobody out. Never make the first or third outs at third. That'll be an RBI for Darren Johnson. It's a 6-4 ball game, and here's Simpson. And they're going to hit for Simpson. They're going to bring in the hot man, Art Shamsky. Shamsky in the last 10 days, 357, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs. And the crowd on its feet for Shamsky. 6-4 the score now, tying runs aboard. Hamilton checks the runners. The pitch to Shamsky, 3-11, grounder to short, could be 2. Fielded there by McMillan. He goes to hunt for 1 to first, not in time. Darren Johnson winds up at third. There's 1 out. And the batter is Leo Cardenas. Infield at double play depth. Hamilton's pitch to Cardenas. 5-11 righty is a fly to left field X. Oh my God, it's Hiller. 4E16 on a 19. That's a 2-star single off of Hiller. And suddenly it's a 1-run game. All the way to third goes Shamsky. God, I feel bad about leaving Hiller in now, just to let him bat one more time. 6-5 is the score. Still only 1 out, and we're going to have a hitter for Nottavart. And that's going to be the left-handed hitter, Gordy Coleman. Coleman at 258, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs. And now the infield will be in. Hamilton's pitch to Coleman. 6-10 left-handed, high pop fly to shallow center. In comes Cleon Jones, waiting on it, and makes the catch, and the runners will have to hold. That's a huge out there for Hamilton. Coleman is retired. It's going to be up to Tommy Harper. 6-5 Mets, bottom of the 8th, first and third, 2 down. Harper 0 for 4 today. Hamilton getting the sign. The pitch from the stretch. 6-10 right-handed, high pop fly to shallow left. Hiller is under it, waiting, and makes the catch to retire the side. Reds come up one short, but they do plate 2. My mistake there. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 left on. After 8 complete, it is 6-5 Mets. Staying in the game in right field will be Shamsky. He's a 4.E8 with a 0 arm. And now it's a nail biter as we go to the 9th. Reds need a pitcher. The Mets, that's a tough one too now. Left, right, left. They're going to go to McCool. Nobody else you could really turn to in this situation. So not a Bart 1 inning. A 1-2-3 frame with 1 K. The Mets are going to have to bat for Hamilton. Who do you trust in the pen? It's most likely going to be Bill Hepler. Let's see who the batter's going to be. Against the left-handed McCool, who's been lights out. 0-1, but 14 saves at a microscopic 1.37 ERA. A lot of left-handers on the Mets bench. We need a right-handed hitter, and that's going to be none other than Jim Hickman. Hickman, who I remember well from his Chicago Cub days. On the season, Hickman 247, 1 homer, 5 RBIs, and just 73 at-bats. McCool gets his sign. The windup and the pitch to Hickman on a 2-9, base hit up the middle. So Hickman comes through with a leadoff single off the bench. And here's Hiller. We left Hiller in to hit, and now he's facing a lefty. The thing is, do they have any righties? They've got Taylor and Murphy. Is that any better? Murphy's not bad. Billy Murphy will hit for Chuck Hiller. So all that to get another at bat out of Hiller, and then he doesn't bat anyway. Murphy could stay in the game in left. Murphy 225 and just 40 at bats. He has 3 home runs. Hickman takes his lead. McCool from the stretch. 6'8" righty, swung on and missed, strike 3. One down, here's Ron Hunt. Hunt 1 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Billy McCool. It's a 5'7" righty, swung on and missed, strike 3. McCool's bringing him right in there. Luplo. Hitting for Luplo is Ron Swoboda. He'll play left field. We'll see about right field. Murphy does not play right. Runner at first, 2 down. Swoboda facing Billy McCool. Ron Swoboda on the year, hitting just 170 with 2 home runs. The pitch from McCool. 2-6 lefty, grounder to short. Cardenas charging it on the run, just does get him. Let's see if they've got another outfielder. If not, Murphy could play center with Jones moving to right. That's what we're going to do. Leon Jones will move to right. Ben threw up the stop sign, then said, never mind. No runs to hit, one left. It is 6-5 Mets going to the bottom of the ninth. Great crowd on hand. I want to thank everybody for being here. Game 2 of this doubleheader tomorrow. It's Rose and the heart of the order. Switch left and then Perez Pavletic. They'll at least start the inning with Hepler. Hepler, a lefty. Bernard still throwing down there. So Hamilton worked 1 inning. Wait a minute here. 1, 2, 3. All 5 runs charged to Gardner. So Bill Hepler is on. Two and 0, a pair of saves, 3.86. Pete Rose to lead it off. He'll bat right-handed against Hepler. Hepler ready to work. Here's the wind-up and the pitch to Rose on a 3-8 lefty. He struck him out, a tweener, right in the heart of his good column. Rose down on strikes. That's 1 away. The batter is Veda Pinson. Looking ahead to Perez. Hepler ready to work. Gets the sign. The wind up, the pitch to Pinson. 2-11. Foul ball back at the plate. Grody back. Throws the mask aside and puts it away. And the Reds are down to their last out. This is where strategy comes into play. All they've got is lefties. They've got Ruiz. Coker, no. Johnny Edwards is really all you've got. Although Pavletic could move to first base. So Hepler against Perez or Bernard against Edwards. We're going to stick with Hepler. Perez 2 for 4. Hepler gets the sign. The windup. The pitch to Perez. 6-6. That's a liner to second. Single to 18. On an 18. He squirts it through past Hunt. One to 10 runner. Do they have anybody? Chico Ruiz. Well, no, they don't have another first baseman. Perez will have to do. Hepler pitching to Pavletic, runner on first, 2 down. Perez a modest lead from first. The pitch from the stretch. 2-8, base hit center field. Perez 10, Jones -1. No. Murphy's in center now, excuse me. Murphy is 0, 1 to 10 to go to third. No, thank you. Perez holds at second. And here comes Darren Johnson. And here comes Westrom, and that's going to be it for Hepler. Oh my, the wheels are turning here as Larry Bernarth comes in. Bernarth 3-2 with a save. ERA high, however, at 5.57. He just needs 1 out. Tying run in scoring position, winning run at first base. Ruiz will run for Pavletic. Chico Ruiz is going to run for Pavletic. They do have another catcher. Oh, wait, they also have Mel Queen, but he's a 1 through 12. Ruiz a 15 at first base. Bernarth brought on to face Darren Johnson, who's 1 for 3 with a walk today. Crowd on its feet. Bernarth gets the sign. Here's the windup on the pitch to Darren Johnson. It's a 2-10. Routine grounder to second. Hunt to Crane Pool, and that's the ball game. Oh my goodness. It was a wild one today, and the Mets hang on to win it 6-5. Totals in a moment. Whew. Okay, Hepler, 2 hits. He had 1 strikeout. The Mets led in the 4th, so Gardner's the winner. Gardner improves to 5-6. Bernarth comes in to get 1 batter and gets the save. That's his 2nd save on the season. Bernarth usually not used in those high leverage spots, but they really needed a right-hander there. McCool allowed a hit, no runs, 2 Ks. The loser is Pappas. He drops to 5-6. Player of the game, I have no idea. I was going to say Hiller, but that misplay in left field kind of took some of the luster off of his shine. Thank you, Daniel. I hope to see you tomorrow. Yes, sir. Could it be Gardner? 3 hits, 2 hits Luplow, a run and a ribby. You know, the offense was spread around pretty good. It's pretty much pick 'em for player of the game. Mets win it with 6 runs on 12 hits, 1 error. The Reds 5 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. So a lot of hitting, a lot of runners left on base. Heck, looking at the line, best player of the game was probably Perez. He was on the losing team. Maybe it's still Hiller. He had 3 hits, a run and a ribby. Unmitigated thought Perez was. I kind of think he was. Even though he was on the losing team, no real standout today, so the player of the game is going to be Tony Perez. Not very often I do it that way, but with no true standout, I would have handed it to Hiller, but it was his muff in left field that made the game close. Let's see who's going to pitch tomorrow. You could almost say no player in the game today. It's a team win. Anyway, Dennis Rybant will start for the Mets tomorrow. Sammy Ellis for the Reds. Usual time, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. I want to thank you all once again for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the awesome chat today. Have a great evening and hope to see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. So long for now.